5 rules to improve all of your tricks. How to check your stance and balance. Easy ways to check your stance. For those who want to make things simple, here are tips on how to stand over the board. Check your triangle that's made by your head and feet, so you will be in a stable balance with your head above the center of the board. This position is seen from the nose or tail. Bend your ankles and knees. Keep your upper body standing straight and head, hips, and feet aligned. When you get low, your head and hips are naturally pushed out, so they can't be aligned. But if your ankles are bent, your head and hips are out of the board equally, so you can stay in a good balance even if your head and hips are out of alignment. Also, check that your upper stomach is above the center of the board, and if so, you are balanced on the toe and heel balance as well. You can remember that the upper stomach rule is also effective to analyze tricks like spinning, jibbing, and so on. Here are more simple ways to check your stance. 1. Look in the direction you're going. 2. Arms are out slightly to the side. 3. Bend all lower joints slightly. 4. Chest, hips, knees are facing where toes are pointing. 5. Head, hips are above the center of the board. 6. Strong lower body and relaxed upper body. Also, we can learn personal differences for body alignment, snowboarding style, and purpose. If you understand the difference between you and others, you can set up a binding perfect to get your best performance. Check your binding setup. Is your binding setup set back just for riding one way, or centered for riding both ways equally? How about the binding angle of your front and back feet? Duck stance for park riding? Or forwarded angle on both feet for easy curving? How about stance width? How far apart are your feet? More narrow to push down stronger your center of the board? Or wider to get more stable? Now let's check some personal differences. Body alignment. Body alignment should be considered for your binding setup and your balance over the board. If you set up bindings without understanding your posture, you might hurt yourself, and also you might not be able to perform your best. You should understand your body alignment first before you set up bindings. Then you can adjust width, angle, and so on. People still don't understand that we are not all in perfect alignment. Because of daily habits on chairs, standing still, on the bed, and so on, our muscles learn which position is comfortable, and those positions let your muscles relax or tighten. So as a result, your body is naturally twisted or leaning to the right or left. For example, my body is naturally twisting to the left, and my weight is barely on my right foot. So, good or bad, I'm comfortable with my regular stance setup. Also, your knees might be pointing inside or outside too. This should be considered for the binding angle. If your binding setup like positive 18 or negative 18 and your knees are pointing inside, what will happen? Your knees will get hurt. Also, if your knees are pointing outside and bindings are positive 5 and negative 0, you might twist your ankles easily. Snowboarding style. You also want to know the binding setup that is fit to your snowboarding. How often do you switch riding? Which do you like better, free riding or park riding? These factors should be considered for the binding angle, binding width, and so on. For example, I try to ride 50-50 on both ways. So my bindings are set up on the center and the angle is positive 9 and negative 9. My students like turning setup bindings positive 21 and negative 3. It's set back on directional snowboard, so both setups are fit to their snowboarding style. Purpose. Do you want stability or better board performance? Stance width is the key to get those. If you stand with a wider stance, you will get a wide base of support just like a building, so a wider stance is good for a stronger landing. The more you set both bindings closer, the more the weight presses on the center of the board, so a smaller stance bends the snowboard easier. Also, because of the smaller spin axis on the narrow stance, spinning will be easier than with a wider stance. A wider stance was a kind of trend back in the day, but a smaller stance has been a kind of trend in recent years. Either way, too much will cause your performance to falter. Remember that best setups allows you the best performance. So try to understand all personal differences and try finding your best stance to get your best balance on the board.
Want to learn more with us and want more challenges?
Watch all video tutorials that are only available on our website.
You will get more of the world's best theories to solve your problem and boost your snowboarding skills.
Get the world's best coaching methods based on the coaching of national level athletes.
Boost your snowboard intelligence with us. Snowboard Dojo Wiz, an expert coaching intermediate snowboarders.